I don't know about you guys. I've got a dust storm coming through town.
Oh,
up where I
it's been
live.
really nasty here already.
I lost internet 15 minutes ago, so I was just saying. I'm finding wood to knock on right now because I did lose internet connection, and my husband lost it too. I was trying to figure out what was causing it, but you know, we have this wall of dust, which we can't see anything because it's all dust out there. Yay! It feels like monsoon season. Yeah. With no rain to show for it. Yeah, it's so unsatisfying. It's like smelling somebody baking cookies and then you don't get any.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's a lot like that. Okay. Vamos a practicar. We're going to have kind of a mishmash of things tonight. And, you know, something may have to get cut from the big plan, but well, lo que sea, whatever it may be, that's okay. We'll stop for whatever questions you might have. We did have a big question about some people who said, you know, I really want to review some more of like where all these pronouns go because my brain is flipping out on me. And this is a frequent issue. So I'm going to try to devise some things that we can work on with that. But just so we can kind of get our brain mentally organized with what I have planned, and then we'll kind of like, you know, go off script a bit for addressing the questions that people really did have. I want you to have ready this translation thing, because we're going to start with this translation thing on quedar. We did a whole bunch of them. They're an itty bitty print up here. We did a whole bunch of these last week, but there are a whole bunch we didn't finish, and I put them in big print so we can look at them. And we're going to take them in threesies. We're going to take them in the mystical threes. 3 is a mystical number. We're going to take them 3 by 3. And all of these are examples that potentially can use quedar in one of its many morphe forms. Yeah, quedar can mean a whole bunch of different stuff. And we'll take a quick look at that video on quedar, although we're not going to watch the whole thing, but ¿a dónde fueron? Where'd they go? That's it. We'll take a look at that as well, because they actually had a lot of examples of quedar used in that directions video. And because you just had a whole bunch of directions in the last destinos from last week, vale la pena, it's worth the effort. So, okay, vamos a empezar. We're going to send you off into small groups. We're going to look at where's the bus stop? We have no money left. Where are you all staying tonight? Are any of those commands?
No.
No. Are any of those past? No. So we don't have to worry about all that hoo-ha. Is it now? Was it then? Okay.
Did we do number 8 last time?
Oh, perdón, I am sorry. Gracias. Muchísimas gracias. 8, 9, 10. We're 8, 9, and 10. So I'm wrong. Muchas gracias. After eating, okay, we do have a past. After eating dinner together, they stayed to chat. And now, if you don't know they stayed past, don't worry about it. Just conjugate it, and we'll look at what it would be both in present and in past. So don't worry about past. Just worry about getting a verb that's right. But again, wow, I have no command in 8. I have no command in 9. I have no command in 10. So I do have a past in 8, ocho. I've got that. So we're going to take a look at those 3. 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10. Vale, magnífico. Okay. Vamos a ver. Let's. ¿Cuántos somos? How many of us are there? 13. Let's get into, say, groups of 4 or 4 groups. Then I'm going to move one person over. Okay, so that evens out just a little. even out? Does that even out? Momentito. Okay, vale, here we go. I'm just going to give you, I think, 3 minutes because you had time to think about this. So 3 minutes, kind of puzzle it out. We'll come back, take a look at it. Vale, ¿sí bien? Okay, hit your Jordan button. I'm going to hit my timer button. Ah, muy bien. Aquí estamos todos. Here we all are. Vale, fantástico. You can probably take yourselves off of mute unless you got a fur baby, kind of like sometimes I have them and then I can't mute. Oh my. Okay. Ooh, after eating dinner together. ¿Qué creen ustedes? What do you guys think? ¿Qué creen ustedes? After eating dinner together.
Después de cenar.
Después de cenar. Here's the easiest way to
Juntos.
say. Ah, juntos.
Juntos.
Después de cenar juntos. There's the easiest way, the most direct. So now, let me see you show
Marilyn,
it.
can you share your screen?
Oh,
Thank you.
gracias. Ah, gracias.
Marilyn,
I have to take it off for the breakout rooms and then I forget. Gracias. Nikki, eres un ángel. You're an angel. Okay. Después de cenar juntos. Después de cenar juntos.
yeah, I didn't.
There's the most direct way. Now, let me see a quick show of hands. How many of you feel like I get mixed up with the before and after things? Anybody?
I'm sorry, what do
See?
you mean?
See, I get mixed up with when I use before, when I use after. Does it have a day? Does it have no? That kind of
Oh.
stuff. Okay, yay, there we go. There is topic for next week right now. Because this is a crucial vocabulary thing. It is. How many times do we talk to people saying before or after? And if you got a 50-50 shot of getting it right. But boy, if you get it right, the bus comes before 8, a bus comes after 8. You got a 50-50 shot. You just missed the bus. That is no fun. That is no fun. We're going to do something next week with antes de and después de, so that we just do a whole bunch. And you get the pattern, Okay. Después de.
La pregunta,
Sí, dime.
could you say después de comiendo la cena, or is that just stringing it?
Okay, you could say, so let's look at some alternatives. Because no one thing is correct. You could say this, después de comer la cena.
Comer.
Juntos. You could say that, but I can't say comiendo.
Okay,
I can't say comiendo. So here's where I want to stop for just a minute. This magical word de, that magical word de is one of those magical, picky, short words. And somebody walks, oh, después de cenar, and they say it so fast, you might miss the de. Después de cenar. Después de cenar, okay? De, all these little words like de, like en, like con, like the very tiny like para. All those little stinkers are prepositions.
okay.
And
Okay,
after a
when you-
preposition,
okay.
the verb, if you've got a verb, and the verb is going to sound in English like an ing, because that's what we do
Okay, right.
often.
Thank you.
It will not be ing. And it can't be ing because after a preposition, you must have an infinitive. In Spanish, there is no choice. It's the pattern they use. It's the pattern they use. Después de cenar, después de manejar, después de tomar una sorba de té, después de usar la cuchara. ¿Sí? Después de usar la cuchara, por favor, ponla en el lavaplatos, put it in the dishwasher, después de usarlo, o después de usarla, after using it, después de usarla, ¿ok? Bien, después de ver, después de hablar, después de decirme, after telling me, después de, it's always an infinitive. It has to be because of that magical little word de. All prepositions are stinky little words that have to use the infinitive, but it's great because you don't have to conjugate it. So we say after eating, we say before eating. We do an ing, and you said, oh, well, I know that I learned that ing is ando, or if it's an AR verb, and ing is yendo. Well, yes, if it's I am eating, they are eating. Oh, they just keep on eating no matter what. Those are the true ing. Siguen comiendo, they keep on eating. Están comiendo, estamos comiendo. Estoy comiendo. Ando yendo walks along with another verb, often estar, but not always estar, but often estar, yeah? And it means the ando yendo means something is moving along even as we speak. Okay? Present tense in its most literal, most real-time sense. That's ando yendo. Okay?
Thank you. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, sí. So, sí, después de cenar juntos, después de comer la cena, but now look, you got to use all kinds of extra words, comer la cena. We've got a perfectly great verb that means all bundled in, eating dinner. And I only have to use one word, cenar, cenar, cenar. Vamos a cenar. Shall we have dinner? Shall we have dinner? I need no stinking have. Just cenar. Vamos a cenar. Let's have dinner. Vamos a cenar. Okay, después de cenar juntos, and now we get to the they stayed part. They stayed. ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Qué
They
tenemos?
quedaron.
Se quedaron.
Sí, quedaron, probably just quedaron. Now, if you kept it in present, that, whoops, that, they might use it as say, they might not use it as say, kind of depends on what they feel like. Yeah.
Thought you had
Hmm.
to.
Yeah, I thought so too.
It says,
Some people do, yeah, say quedar. Oh, perdón, de no. Some people may leave it off, just saying. Se quedaron, to chat.
Para charla?
Yeah, para, and para is one of those magical little prepositions.
Charlar?
Charlar. Para charlar. Will somebody still understand you if you say this? Does it mean the same thing as this? Hablar un poco. Charlar is like cenar, it has a special meaning that is really specific. Charlar has a special meaning that is specific. But if you can't think of charlar and think of chat, charlar, chat, charlar, chat. Yeah, charlar, to chat. Hablar un poco or just hablar, they get your drift.
you
Right?
have to have the para in there.
I certainly would, yeah. Yeah, see.
I skipped that.
See.
Put
It's
it in
okay. If you don't know preterite, that's okay. Then put it in, present for this. Okay. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, where's the bus stop?
indicator.
¿Dónde quedo?
Donde queda? If we're asking you to use
¿Dónde queda la parada de autobús?
la parada de autobús. They may shorten it to bus. They may use autobús. Yeah, depende. ¿Dónde queda la parada de autobús? ¿Dónde queda la parada de autobús? Parada is the stop, the place where you wait for it, right?
Can you also use a station?
Estación is bigger than a parada. ¿Cuál es la diferencia entre estación y parada?
Yeah, no,
Parada es un lugar muy específico, un lugar muy pequeño.
Yep, got it. No, I got it.
Estación es un edificio. Estación is a building. So, estación de tren, estación de autobús would be a big, like a terminal. Estación would be more like a big terminal, like a whole bunch of buses go from there. Sí, Susana, ¿tienes una pregunta? Dime.
See, yeah, I guess I'm confused as to what purpose the queda has in where's the bus stop? Like you're basically asking where's the bus stop remain? Like is that
we're just getting you used to different contexts, different situations where queda will be used, and this is one of them. Queda is an equivalent for estar. So here's what happens. What happens what happens is you ask the question, which is a perfectly good question. ¿Dónde está la parada de autobús? ¿Dónde está el bus? Right? And somebody answers you, queda allá, a la derecha. Queda allá. And they don't use estar coming back at you. And you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. I use estar. You're supposed to answer me with estar, but they don't feel like it. But that happens in real life.
So does it get used in a lot of other situations as
It gets,
instead of estar?
Okay. Creo que entiendo. I think I understand. It gets used in the situation of estar for location.
So if I said, where is the book? They might say, queda.
They
El
might.
libro?
Usually it's more like when giving directions.
Directions, okay.
So that's an even better question because it's more specific. It usually it's when somebody gives you correction or directions, or like you're at, you're asking where a building is.
Okay.
It usually won't be used for something as small as like,
Item.
hey, kid, where'd you leave? I mean, it might be, but less likely. Really likely, ¿dónde queda el correo? Where's you got to mail a package. ¿Dónde queda el correo? Where's the post office? Queda en la avenida. Queda muy lejos. It's pretty far. Queda bastante lejos. It's pretty far. So where you expect they're going to say estar, but they come back to you with queda. And that's a pretty common thing for people to use in that process of talking about locations of things. And we had a couple of examples in the video, so I'm going to try to do a fast forward on it and find those for you. As a matter of fact, after the next example, we'll go and do that. Because strike while the iron is hot. Okay, we got no money left.
That's typical.
We have no money left.
No,
We have to put a note.
No nos queda dinero.
No nos queda dinero. No nos queda dinero. There's the easiest thing. No, the word left, don't even need it. What for? It's all built into that queda idea. The word left is built into queda. That's what the queda means. Have left. Over. In some cases, right? No nos queda dinero. Okay.
Marilyn,
Sí.
could you say no quedamos dinero?
No, you cannot.
Okay.
Qué buena pregunta. Okay, let's see why we cannot say that. Because quedamos would mean we are left over. So we can't do that. Quedar, this is a situation where queda will be either queda or quedan. It's a verb exactly like what?
Gusto.
Versus, yeah, gustan. Yes, it's being used just like that verb.
Marilyn,
being-
are
yeah.
those verbs called anything special? Like the verb, I just think that a
They're
verb.
called
like
they're
this-
called verbs like gustar. Isn't that helpful?
And I'll remember it that way.
Isn't that helpful?
It's something.
I bet if I were a real guru, if I were a true person who like absolutely knew every single nuance, there would be a specific word for that. But do
Commonly.
you any good? Not a whole lot. Yeah.
Just wondering.
What it's a verb that has a pattern, and the little human being in front of the queda tells who's got that thing left. It'll be a me queda, a te queda, a nos queda, a le queda, or a les queda. Oh, wait a minute. Couldn't it be lo? Couldn't it be la? No, can't, because it's left over to a human being. Yeah, it's left to somebody. So it's all indirect stuff. Métenos le or les, métenos le or les. Just like it's always me gusta, te gusta, nos gusta, le gusta, les gusta. Just like that pattern. It's just like gustar. Bien? Okay. Vale. So the reason we're doing this is that quedar, sadly, has a whole bunch of different uses. And we kind of need to start to become familiar with many, many common uses that it has. And one of the most common when you're a tourist on the street is queda is the same thing as está for location. If you remember nothing else, remember that, because people will just say it and that'll be the first thing that comes out of their mouth. And you're like, wait a minute, doesn't está tell me where something is at? And then sadly, you're like, oh, I wish I knew exactly what they meant. And it's sad and you're feeling kind of bad. And you shouldn't feel bad about yourself. I'm going to find, because the iron is hot, yeah, I'm going to try to find the exact situation. There were two of them, but I need to. Find the exact situation. We have this video on directions. I think I sent you the video on directions, did I not? Yeah. Ooh, aquí viene, here it comes. Aquí viene, I'm gonna switch my screens. And this is interesting because these two folks, they go really fast. I mean, they do. They speak fast and then they slow it down. Yes. But she will speak exactly as fast as people will normally speak. So I want you to hear it and how fast, because this is exactly what Susan said. Well, do I have to know this? Well, you have to know it because it'll come at you this fast when it happens in real life. Ha, not to scare you, but.
Muchas gracias. Una pregunta más.
Claro, dime.
Una pregunta más. One more question.
¿Qué tan lejos queda el Museo de Arte Contemporáneo del Mercado?
Now, he lives with her, so of course it came out that fast.
Yeah.
¿Qué tan lejos? How far? And this is very colloquial. ¿Qué tan lejos? Tan lejos. Ay, es tan lejos. It's so far. ¿Qué tan lejos queda? ¿Qué tan lejos queda? You might be thinking, ¿qué tan lejos está? And that's fine. But somebody comes back at you and they don't use this queda thing. Or they don't use the está thing, they use the queda thing instead. And then you're like, oh my God, what was that word? Well, they meant está.
¿Qué tan lejos queda el Museo del Mercado?
Means, how far is the museum from the market? This is a great question you can use when talking about the distance between two places.
¿Qué tan lejos queda? ¿Qué tan lejos queda? Now, this is complicated, but I break it down into a very sing-songy thing to help myself remember. ¿Qué tan lejos queda? ¿Qué tan lejos queda? ¿Qué tan lejos queda el correo? ¿Qué tan lejos queda la nueva tienda, the new store? ¿Qué tan lejos queda el supermercado? ¿Qué tan lejos queda? You do a little sing song, you think, ¿qué tan lejos queda? Yeah. Ooh, there's a queda.
Queda ahí luego, luego.
Oh, and she answered with a queda. So you might have asked, ¿Dónde está? But she doesn't answer you with está. She answers you with queda allí.
Queda ahí, luego, luego.
Translates to, it's really close from there.
Luego, luego.
Can also mean right away, depending on the context.
Again, that's a colloquial thing. You know, luego, luego is kind of just icing on the cake. It doesn't get in the way for you understanding that you haven't got too far to go.
Solo sigue una cuadra más, está justo en la esquina. Está justo en la esquina.
And I want to come back to this word sometime, if not tonight, soon. Justo, is this right? How many words mean right? Left versus right. You're right. It's right there.
Mhm.
Right ahead. Oh God, that word right. But, ooh, that's a word we need to come back to sometime soon. And y gracias, Karen, thank you, because yes, sadly, in real life, this happens and it's like, which right do I need? Okay, I'm gonna try to do a quick, find my other queda because I know there's another one hiding in here. Oh, aquí está, here it is.
¿Hay una farmacia cerca de aquí?
Hay una farmacia cerca de aquí.
Hay una
Hay una farmacia cerca de aquí. Is there a pharmacy around here? You didn't even need to start, right? I just means something exists somewhere, but near, around here, cerca de aquí, near here, okay? She's not going to come back with I.
farmacia cerca de aquí.
Means, is there a drugstore around here? This is a great phrase for when you're looking for a more general service, like a bookstore, a bakery, a coffee shop, etc.
And you're not picky about which one it is. There might be 3 coffee shops. You don't care which one. You don't want, you know, cafeteria preciosa, cafeteria preciosa. You don't want that specific. Just give me any old place, yeah? Okay.
Uy, no, la única que conozco queda un poco retirado. Queda un poco retirado.
No estar. Oh, blankety blank. She didn't use estar, but this is what happens. It's sad. So this is why I chose this, because that's what happens. You are expecting one verb, but they come back with another. So if you remember nothing else about quedar, remember that people plug quedar in where we might use estar. And they will do that with a fair amount of frequency. So if you learn no other, if you have nothing else stick in your brain, remember, queda might be given to you with directions. And they're telling you something is someplace. Queda is the same thing as está and in a place. They're going to tell you where. Retirado means withdrawn, meaning, wow, it's not super close. Okay. Retirado does not mean retired. Oh, it's a false cognate. I mean, it does, in a sense, mean retired, as in something is withdrawn. If you're retired, you're withdrawn from the workforce. That's not a real close cognate, folks. Yeah. Retirado is tucked away. Retirado is tucked away. Yeah. So, okay, but the important part here is queda. Queda, queda, queda. Now está. No recuerdo muy bien. Wow. I don't quite remember if she's got another queda buried in there. I knew there were 2. So I'm going to do a quick, no, eso no, eso no. Okay. And if you actually want to go through this with me at another time, we can do that if we can find the time. But I noticed in this video, it's like, wow, she's got a lot of queda stuff. a lot. And I think that is the end of our queda. So that shows you how often in just colloquial speech, casual speech, people will bring that up. And you know, sadly, wow, you're just not thinking about it because you're expecting a stud. It's pretty annoying. You said, I use a stud. You should use a stud back with me. Yeah. Así es. So it is. Okay. A ver. Bueno. Okay. See? So there's the most important use of queda that you should remember because they'll throw it at you. And then you're wondering, oh, good Lord. Okay. 11, let me share. Gracias. Thank you for reminding me about sharing. I get the old senior brain a whole lot. Here we go. Hey, where you all stand? Where you all stand? This jacket doesn't fit. Let's say we leave at 8. Let's just say we leave at 8. I'm going to send you off to like peruse that. See? Where are you staying tonight? Is that just a fact or is that a command?
It's not a command.
Just a question.
Yeah, it's just a question. It's plain old fact. Oh, this jacket doesn't fit me well. Is that a plain old fact or is it a command?
Okay.
Ah, it's just a fact. Yeah. Ooh, let's just say we leave at 8.
Well, that doesn't sound like you're being ordered, or
I think you're right. Yeah.
we kind of.
Yeah,
Let's do
that's kind of in waffle land, isn't it? Waffle.
waffle
Oh, we can just do
Like
present.
that.
We can just do
the
present.
IHOP of.
Yeah, we can just do present. Okay, we can just do present with that. Okay, I'll send you off to do that, those 3. Kind of compare some notes and see, you know, if you were kind of on track or if your compatriots really doesn't, you know, compadres agree with you or don't agree with you, whatever. 3 minutos.
Mhm.
Vale, magnífico. A ver, all these things in some way use quedar in one of its many, many forms. So this first one is one of the really direct quedarse ones, yeah? Lodging kind of thing. Okay. Alguien, where are you? Where are you guys staying?
¿Dónde se quedan?
¿Dónde?
¿Dónde se quedan
¿Dónde se quedan
esta noche?
esta noche? ¿Dónde se quedan? Do I have to use an ustedes?
Don't forget to share your screen.
Oh, gracias. Gracias. What's messing me up is the breakout room. Yeah, that's what's messing me up. Okay. ¿Dónde se quedan esta noche? Do I need ustedes?
I don't think so. 'cause
No,
you've
you
got-
actually don't have to. People will omit it because they're looking you straight in the eye and talking to you. So they assume you know. They're going to assume that you know because they've been talking with you.
If you were going to say it, would you put it after quedan?
Sí. ¿Dónde se quedan ustedes? Yeah, it probably wouldn't hang all the way back here. I mean, yeah, it could. That's kind of a flexible issue, but ¿dónde se quedan ustedes? ¿Dónde se quedan ustedes? Yeah. Sí. Eso es. Okay. Do we have a whole lot of alternatives to this? Do we have a work? Is there a workaround? There's not a lot because, staying as in lodging. Actually, there are different words that mean to lodge, but they're kind of higher tier words. Donde se alojan, donde se hospedan, and they're really formal words. So you're likely to hear, what you're going to hear is quedar. For conversation, that's what you're going to hear. So I'm not going to give you all the other words there because that's not a situation like queda and está. There are some higher level words for quedarse, but in just chit-chatting with people on the street, you're not going to hear them very often, okay? Okay, this jacket doesn't fit me so great.
That one of
Esta chaqueta no me queda bien.
Esta chaqueta no me queda bien. No me queda muy bien, depende. You can magnify it. No me queda muy bien. And this me queda is a lot like the leftover me queda. We use this just like the Gustav thing again. No me queda. It doesn't set on me so well. Quedar is being used for actually like a location again. It doesn't sit on me is the implication. Yeah. So for fit, esta chaqueta no me queda a mí. Ok. Vale, magnífico. Esto es más difícil. This one's tougher.
Well, we guess.
Let's say. Okay, what did you guess?
Quedamos en salir.
Yeah.
Quedamos en
Salir
salir
a las 8.
a las 8. The a las 8 part you probably got without a whole lot of problem. Okay. In English, there are a lot of ways we might express that. Let's agree on. Let's just say, yeah, there are a lot of ways we might express this idea. So you're going for the idea here. Quedamos en salir. And this is actually quite a common thing when people are checking with each other. Perdón. Perdón. When they're checking for agreement. Quedar en is very, very common when I'm looking for you to validate. Yes, we sure did. They're kind of expecting a yes answer if they ask you this. So, if it really isn't, it's important. Oh, no nos quedamos en las 8. We didn't agree on 8. Nos quedamos en las 9. We agreed on 9.
I looked at it as we haven't agreed on it yet. We're just discussing it now. So I just use digamos because digamos.
Oh,
Yeah.
digamos. Digamos, can you use that as a workaround? Well, you sure can. You sure can. It's a different way of saying that idea. It doesn't use quedar, but it gets the same idea. Oh, digamos, let's just say. Digamos, digamos.
Vamos a salir.
Sí, salgamos, here's a let's do it. Digamos, salgamos a las 8. Digamos, nos vamos a las 8. Oh yeah, there are workarounds we can do with this. There are a lot of ways of saying let's. There are lots of ways of saying that, but this is one. Quedamos en is signaling kind of really in agreement, okay? Yeah, yeah.
So you're saying nos vamos. Could you just say vamos a? Vamos a salir?
Sí, yeah, you can. Nos vamos just makes it more fluid.
Sure, then you don't have to say
Like-
a salir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You've got options. You've got options. You know, yeah, you've got options. Okay. Bien, bien, fantástico. Okay. ¿Hay más preguntas o no? No, no, dos más. Ah, nos quedan dos frases más. Nos quedan dos frases más.
We have left.
Nos quedan dos frases más. Bueno, a ver. Now I gotta go off screen. I'm gonna make myself an actual physical note. Start sharing when I'm gonna come back because I'm having my senior mamas. Here we go, breakout rooms. 3 minutos. María, ¿me puedes oír? No, no me puedes oír. Ok. Blah. Aquí vienen todos. Yay, I didn't forget. Okay.
Oh, we're back.
Vale, magnífico. Ok. 14, qué fácil, ¿no? Qué fácil.
Sí,
Sí, sí.
Qué fácil, qué fácil. My cousin, mi primo.
Mi primo se queda con nosotros.
Mi primo se queda con nosotros. There's
I
not a
decided
whole
I
lot-
have a female cousin,
Perdón?
so I have mi prima.
Oh, mi
Said I
prima,
decided
sí.
I have a female cousin.
Mi prima. Ah, sí. No sabemos. En inglés no sabemos. You know, we don't have a female version of cousin. You know, lion, lioness, cousin, cousiness. No, we don't have that. Actress, no, we don't have that. See, mi prima, mi primo, mi prima se queda con nosotros. Eso es, eso es. Okay. Oh, here's the checklist thing. Here's the checklist thing. Remember that from the video? And this is, oh, people do this all the time. They're talking about all the junk they got to do. Oh, I've got so much to do with my day. I am so tired. Estoy tan cansada. Estoy cansadísima. Okay. And the implication is I only have this one thing to go. It's the one thing I have to do. ¿Cómo se dice? I have to call the office. I have to do this one thing.
I had me queda llamar a la oficina.
Me queda llamar a la oficina. Perfecto. Me queda llamar a la oficina. Me queda llamar, you know, automatically, when somebody chooses to use this idea, me queda llamar a la oficina, you automatically know they had a bunch of other things to do. And this is the very caboose on the end of the train. The very last thing.
So it needs to be a la oficina?
A la oficina. Sí, sí. A la
What,
oficina.
what purpose does the serve in there?
Because you're calling to the office. That doesn't help you, does it?
Well, kind of.
No, I left it out. So-
Because your call is going through space and time of the yeah. It's going to a different place.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
it's going to a different place. Now I
Yeah.
put ya in front of it. I still have to. Ya me queda llamar.
You could, but the me queda already builds in all that stuff.
Well, I'm emphasizing it.
But
I'm
you're
just,
emphasizing. Todavía would do that too. Yeah, so you could.
Marilyn, what about solo? At the beginning?
Solo works great. Solo works great.
Dan
Yeah.
idea.
Or would you put
Oh,
it,
there's another way of saying just.
No.
Justo?
Yeah, solo. Oh, I only have to do this. Solo.
where would you put it?
Solo.
At the beginning?
Solo me
Oh,
queda. Solo me queda. Solo me queda llamar a la oficina. Exacto. Solo me queda. You might very
Alright,
well
I'll
use solo. That would be a very, oh yeah, I would use that. Lo haría. I would do it. Yo lo haría. I would do it. Okay. Fantástico. Ustedes son muy listos. You guys are really smart.
Now, can you send
I don't
those?
feel that smart.
And I say that not sarcastically at all. Perdón, hay una pregunta.
Can you send those notes to us? Can you take a screenshot?
Oh, sí,
of
sí,
that?
sí, sí.
Yeah.
No, I will just send you, it will all be built in there and it will have except I won't put it in great big giant print.
Okay.
I put a big giant print for the first screen.
Giant print is okay.
Well,
I just have this scribbled up sheet, so
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
that's,
I put it
It
back
needed-
into regular font when I send it back to you. But yes, I will put that back into small font so that if you choose to print it, it will not take reams of paper. Why did she do this? She must be having another brain fart. Yes, that could be. Okay, Muy bien. Many uses of quedar. Some of these verbs are like that. Llevar is a notorious verb for having a whole bunch of meanings, and it's used a lot. Take me here, take me there. Hey, I'm bringing 2 suitcases. Are you going to charge me money? Llevar is used for a whole bunch of things. Quedar is sadly used for a whole bunch of things, and we have to listen for all the other ideas around them. So we're picking some of these kind of verbs because these are things that are used a lot in communication. Because if you travel, you'll ask a taxi driver, can you take me to this place? Right? Can we take all this luggage? Oh my God, my children have all this luggage. Can we take all this luggage? Can we stay? Can we all stay in the same room? Where's the bus stop? Okay. All those, llevar is a verb like that. Quedar is a verb like that. And here, sadly, comes this other new verb, which is easier to use. Yay, aren't you happy to know that? Sí. Las diferencias. ¿Dónde está la cajita de texto? Aquí viene, here it comes. Pedir versus, and they do use versus, versus preguntar. Pedir versus preguntar. I would say this is not on the list as important as queda and estar, or not as important as llevar is used for take me somewhere, but still quite often we wind up using pedir and preguntar. So what did you take away from that little video with the person writing on the screen of what the big difference is? But we just have ask in English, and then we add on all kinds of extra words. Yeah, but Spanish has 2 specific verbs.
To me, I took away from it, the only time you use preguntar is when you're asking for information.
Preguntar, yeah. The big takeaway is that information is tucked into that. So I'm going to give you another little clue that's tied to that idea of information. It won't be 100% thing, but it's oh yeah, I noticed that kind of thing. Question words might come into play. Okay, so the who, what, when, where, why questions. Because who, what, when, where, why all deal with information. So that's sometimes a clue. Okay, that helps us a little bit. And pedir is used for ask for something. Yeah, that specifically is ask for. And for is built in. So you don't need a word for. That won't translate. It's built into the idea of pedir. It's built in already. So I don't need the word for. And another way we look at this is the to order. You order something. So sometimes it's that, sometimes it's to ask for. So, okay, un ejemplo aquí. How can you tell? Por ejemplo, necesito pedirte un favor. I need to ask you a favor. I need to ask you for a favor. You're not ordering anything like a drink, right? So sometimes, it's that. You can use pedir with ayudar, or ayuda, I should be more specific. See? Ese Juan, that John, siempre me pide ayuda He's always asking me for help. Siempre me pide ayuda. And there, ayuda is not a verb, it's the thing, the noun that means help. Siempre me pide ayuda. He always asks me for help. Okay?
No,
So,
Mary-
pedir, to ask for. Sí, dime.
Could you put the te in front of that verb pedir on your first sentence example without putting any infinitive anywhere? Could you put?
Oh, this te.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because you've conjugated necesito.
Te necesito pedir. You could. Sí, se puede. Yes, you can. It's attached. Whoop, it's attached here because because I have an infinitive. Ooh, and it's not letting me go back in. It's attached because it's got an infinitive to attach to.
Oh,
And it's kind of tying into that idea of a favor right away. So it hangs there just kind of nicely. Necesito pedirle or pedirte, right? Pedirle if it's formal, un favor. Yeah. Sounds a little better to me attached, but you could say te necesito pedir un favor. You absolutely could phrase it that way correctly. Eso es, sí. Okay? Vale? Are we good with that so far?
Yep.
Let's try maybe 6 of these. We're going to go halves. I had sent you a little little sheet, but I'm going to share it with you now. We're going to see if you can do these ideas. And we're going to take them in 3s again. So we're going to take them in the magic 3s. I'm going to split them up. Order a coffee with cream for me, please. I want to ask you a favor. We're asking you not to smoke. Okay. So I want you to think about whether it's asking for something or whether it's just plain old information. Kind of mull that over with your partners in the room. That makes sense?
And
Is
if
it
it's a
for-
command. Order a coffee with cream, is that a command?
That's a command.
Yeah.
That's a command. I want to ask you a favor. Is that a command or is that just a statement of fact?
The command.
I want
Oh,
to ask you is not a command.
no.
It's just a fact.
Anyway, you use the infinitive, so.
Yeah, you do use the infinitive. Yeah. Okay.
We're asking you not to smoke sounds like it could be a command.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like that, but it's going to be just a statement, plain old fact.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just doing this. Okay. We'll head out. We'll do a 3-minute bit. Bueno. Was that too hard?
Maybe.
Más o menos? Okay, okay. Vamos a ver, let's see. This is one of those, it's kind of, okay, aquí vienen, here comes everybody, okay. Woo,
We're
Fue
too
difí-
slow, Fred.
fue difícil, this one was hard, huh? Okay. So don't worry too much about the command thing yet. But is this going to be pedir or preguntar? Número uno.
Pedir.
Hey, dear.
Pedir, how do you know that?
You're asking for an update.
You want to get something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Coffee is
favor.
not
Can you
information.
share your screen?
Oh. God.
Thanks.
Yes, yes. See, what would I do without you people?
He helped you.
I did this with my teenage group once. Oh my God, these poor kids. Senora, can you put the screen on? Oh my God. Okay, here we go. The worst thing to do to a 15-year-old. Well, not the worst. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Want something. So this one is like a big, big red flag. Yeah. Because you want to have something. Okay. So, oh, here's the bad part. Pedir is one of those bad verbs. It is a stem changer. That E goes into this letter.
Pide? Is it like pide?
Yeah. So,
Pide.
so order is
I think it was like diga, except it's pide.
pide,
Pide.
right? Yep. Well, wait a minute. Are you ordering it for me?
Pídeme.
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 Okay. Oh, it attaches. Pídeme. Now, are you probably saying this to somebody that's in the group with you that you know? Yeah. Well, okay, maybe it's not. Yeah, but probably. So we'll look at what if it's not a to command. We'll look at that too. That's okay. Okay. Pídeme, pídeme. Order this for me. And wow, where we put that me part is like way back there in English, yeah? You could say order me a coffee. Yeah, you could. Pídeme un
Café.
café
Con crema.
por favor. Sí,
Para mí.
sí.
Oh.
Pídeme.
No need para mí.
Pide un café con crema para mí. Yes, you could. There's a workaround. You say, I don't want to be futzing around with that, where does the me go? Pide un café con crema para mí.
Okay.
Sure, that's a workaround. Sure you can.
Yeah.
Sure you can.
You could use pides if it's a friend. Pides, the two.
Well, here's a good thing. If it's a good friend, it's pide. If it's a good friend, it's already pide. Pides means you're actually doing it. It's happening.
But my good friend is going to do it.
You're doing it. You're doing it. But you're asking somebody in pide. You're asking it. You turn to so-and-so because you've got, and you can't manage it. So you turn to the person, pídeme un café, por favor. You want them to do it. So here is the formal command. Pídame. That's the usted command. That's the usted command. Because you don't call that person by their first name. But if you call that person by their first name, they're hanging out with you, they're in your tour group, you've already talked with them a bunch of times, you're likely to use a tu command. So really, it depends on how friendly you are with that person, right? Pídame un café. And depending on where you are, you know, it might be un café con leche. Yeah. There's a special word they like to use in Spain for this, un cortado. Un cortado. Cortar is to cut. Cortado means that coffee is cut with.
Oh.
That's why they call it cortado, because you're putting a lot of milk in the coffee cup. Might they call it a latte? They might, because some of those terms have become kind of ubiquitous from the world of, you know, cafe, coffee patching with people. So yeah, it might be that. Oh, and you know, a short version of por favor.
Oh.
Porfa. Porfa is an abbreviation that people say all the time. Porfa, porfa, porfa. Pídeme, porfa. Yeah. So, you know, if somebody says to you, porfa, they want, it's a please. It's a pretty please.
So we're seeing this as a command.
Yes, this is a command.
Okay.
This is a command.
Okay.
A command is when you tell somebody, go do that. But, you know, unfortunately, it's usually not quite so direct in English as go do that. That sounds a little bit abrupt in English, doesn't it? You know, get me a coffee, make me a coffee. Have dinner ready at 8 o'clock. That's still a command. You know, walk with me. That's a command. Call him later. That's a command. Those are commands. And we really do commands without thinking because we don't really have a different verb form. But in Spanish, it's either going to be pide without the S. That's a tu command. Pide without the S hanging off the end. Pides means you're really doing it. But pide is a go do it. Okay. It might be accompanied by a por favor. It might be somebody leaves off the por favor because they don't feel like it. I don't know. They're more abrupt, you know. I'll give you an example of where this might be sounding more abrupt in a real life situation. You're waiting at a food truck. You're not in a restaurant. You're waiting at a food truck of some kind, you know, or a stand at some kind. And you're about third in line and there are more people behind you, right? You want to order 4 coffees to go. You want 4 coffees to go. You're going to get the little tray thing, yeah? But they got people in line behind you, people up in front. And you say to the guy there, now, do you know this guy at the stand? Probably not. So you're probably going to address him as an usted kind of, it's going to be a command. Trágame 4 cafés, por favor. Or it might even that you just drop that because you know he's in a rush. They just want, it's a food truck. There are people still waiting. Let's move it, right? Okay, now he's not going to take this as, wow, is this person abrupt? I mean, it's nice to say por favor, and as an American especially, always nice to say the por favor. But if you know that you're in a rush situation, to just say trágame 4 cafés is not really like being a huffy American because you know he's in a rush. And he just wants to know your order and get you on your way. Get out of line so I can take the next order. I'm writing it down and sticking it up on the chart, the little wheel that spins around that they pick the orders off of. So that sounds kind of abrupt to us, but in that situation of it's moving fast, just getting out what you need to do is good enough. Good enough. Okay. Bien, 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 bien. I want to ask you a favor. We're going to look at that one here. Is that information or you want something? Information or you want something?
You want something.
You want something. It's vague, but it's a favor. You still want something. Okay. I want to ask you a favor.
Quiero pedirte un favor.
Quiero pedirte un favor, and of course, if it is formal, then instead of te, you will use
Say,
le. Quiero pedirle.
could
Un
you
favor.
do
Pedirle.
Yes.
quiero te pedir?
Quiero pedir un favor. You
Quiero-
could.
Quiero te pedir?
No, not quiero te. Okay, let's take a look at that. No, 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 no. Okay. By the way, that might be okay in French, but it's not okay in Spanish. Okay. It can go. What do I have here? I've got quiero pedir. I've got two verbs working together. So I can do two things. This is not one verb. It's not pídeme, a command. It's two verbs working together. So I can either say, te quiero pedir. It can come up in front of the very first conjugated verb, and that's okay. Or quiero pedirte, attached to the end. But it can never be the white Oreo part of the cookie. Yeah. You know, the fun chocolate parts are the quiero and the pedir. And that white thing in the middle, that can't be there. It can't be there. It's got to be in front of quiero, the first nice chocolate Oreo cookie, or attached to the pedir at the end. It's got to be up in front or tagged on to the end. And it can't come in the middle. It can never do that. Quiero te pedir will totally make somebody's head go because that word order throws them off. I want you, it's okay. It's going to be like you walk, somebody says to you in English, I want you order for me. I want you order for me. I want you order for me this thing. You can process that, but do you need a couple seconds? I want you should for me this. Yeah, no. It's a word order thing. So the te's got to be up front, in front of that first verb, or the te's got to be attached. It can do either one of those. It doesn't matter. They're both equally okay, but I can't stick it in the middle of the two verbs. It can never do that. Two verbs together, there are two places it can go. Right up front, in front of the first verb, tagged down to the end of the last verb. It's the caboose on the train. But it can only do one or the other. Make sense?
Okay.
May not like it, but that's what it does. That's what it does. They never said you were going to like it. Okay, we're going to take one more, and then we're going to take, wow, I didn't get to as much, but that's okay. Okay, we're asking you, and it's a bunch of yous. We're asking all of you guys, we're asking you all not to smoke. This one is tougher.
Les pedimos no fumar? I don't know.
Les pedimos no fumar.
You need a
Me
cake.
gusta muchísimo.
Oh,
Les pedimos no fumar.
I got one.
This is what we're doing. Les pedimos no fumar.
You need
Les pedimos no fumar. We ask you not to smoke. And les can, why is it les?
Yeah. Why
Ustedes, it's you guys.
is it less and not say?
Oh, never say. No. Say
Never
wouldn't
say.
make sense to them. Say would confuse somebody.
That's reflexive.
What is it we're asking? No, none of this stuff. Okay, that's the what.
No
That's
fumar.
the what. Yeah. Who are we requesting that ditch the SIGs?
You all.
You guys. We're asking something of all of you. It must be les. It
So-
cannot be say. Say is reflexive.
So it's a direct object then?
It's an indirect object.
Correct.
No, lays is an indirect object?
No, les is indirect. The
Oh.
smoking would kind of be a direct, kind of. It would be an activity. It's an activity. So it isn't really a direct
No.
object because it's an activity. Yeah.
No, I mean the lays.
The les is indirect.
It's
We're
in-
asking this compliance of all of you. And it must be los.
I don't get that.
Les pedimos no fumar.
Could you also say les estamos pedir no fumar?
Oh. Les estamos pidiendo.
Oh, I actually had les estamos pedir no fumar.
Estamos pedir no. If you put in estamos, then it's got to be a pidiendo. Les estamos pidiendo no fumar. Les estamos pidiendo no fumar. And might someone say that? Yes, they might legitimately say that. Les estamos pidiendo no fumar. Les estamos pidiendo no fumar. They might. They want to make it, they're very in the moment. We're talking to you right now. Les estamos pidiendo no fumar. Es muy posible. That's very possible. Sí. Me gusta. I like that actually. Okay. Bien. Es difícil. Well, we're coming close to the end here. So we're gonna, we didn't get a chance to, we're gonna clean this up la semana que viene, our week that's coming up. Yeah. What I want to say is for next week, para la semana que viene, I will give you another destinos to watch.
Yep, see what happened.
Well, yeah, see what happens. We'll finish up this pedir and preguntar a little bit. We'll work a little more with where all those pronouns go. And I'll build in some before and after stuff, before and after, just some things we'd say using before and after, and how do you know which one, and just we'll throw out a bunch of ideas with using before and after so that we really get cemented into our brain. Which one means before and which one means after. Yeah, bien. If I find a good video on that, I'll send it out, but I'm not sure I will because in my memory bank, I can't come up unless there's something new out there. I can't come up with a new thing that was like, wow, that was great. So if I can find one, great, but I'm doubtful that I will find one that is great. I think you need a lot of examples. So I think we'll just build that in because that before or after is important. As a tourist, a lot of times they tell you about schedules and you got to know when in the sequence of time you're doing this, that you're there when you're supposed to be. Okay, vale, bien? Are we good? Hay preguntas, were there any questions about destinos, what happened, or any issues with what was going on in that episode? I'll just throw that out because I didn't have a whole lot of structural things. No. Did you understand what they were going through when they said that Castillo and Castilla, and they were looking for his name? What was going on with that?
Similar name.
Yeah, the names were similar. So they were like, could you have gotten this wrong? And he really is in a hospital and maybe you just spelled his name wrong. Okay, so they kind of were like wondering if somebody had messed that up. But, sadly, no, they had not messed that up. So, okay. And then, we got one little wonderful nugget about something that Angela had, she said, tengo que confesar algo. I have to confess something. What did she have to confess? Le tengo, oh, and they use le. Siempre le tenía envidia a mi hermano. Siempre le tenía, I'll type it down here. Siempre, she
What is
confesses
the-
this on the car right. Siempre le tenía, and the tenía is a past.
Share screen.
She was envious. You know that.
Yes. Siempre le tenía envidia a mi hermano. It's in the chat box.
Oh, okay.
I always had for him. The le is a for him. I always envied him. The tenía is a past. I always had envy towards him. We don't say it that way, but they do. Siempre le tenía envidia a mi hermano. I always envied my brother. Roberto, el hermano de Ángela, ¿sí? Roberto es muy inteligente. Roberto es muy responsable. Roberto es el hijo ideal. Es perfecto. Siempre es perfecto. Roberto es perfecto. Lo detesto. I hate him. Well, she's not quite specific about that. But she, lo detesto. She doesn't say I hate him. Le tengo, if we put tenía into present, le tengo envidia a mi hermano. And then she goes, oh, you know, my parents, they always said, yo era, I used to be, era impetuosa. Where would they have gotten that idea?
I don't know.
I was always impetuous. Oh, the girl who wants to sell dad's house and give half the money to her boyfriend so he can start a theater. Where would they get the idea that you're impetuous? Why do they think that? Impetuosa? ¿Por qué? Why would they ever think that? I think I'll give money to my boyfriend to start his theater. Many thousands of dollars. Okay. Yeah. So the family dynamics are, you know, starting to do all this. That doesn't happen in real life. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we'll take that story. I think the envy thing will not come in, but you have to know that, you know, she feels bad that he's been in this accident. She feels bad that I envied him. You know, as a kid, I hate my brother kind of thing. Yeah. For being Mr. Perfect. And now he's injured somewhere. Oh, the guilt, you know, la culpa, the guilt. So that's what we're going to leave that. Yeah. And they will pick up with it. They'll be real cliffhanger-y about it. It was a real cliffhanger kind of thing. Okay. Vale. Sí. Bien. Son las 7:30, 7:30. So we'll visit the before, the after. We'll clean up with the pedir and preguntar. And if you have another burning question for next week, email it or pop it in the text box now or whatever you need to do. Lo que sea, whatever it may be. Bien?
Bien.
Gracias. And we'll maybe work a little more as we go in, work a little more. You know what? We will work a little more le with pedir and preguntar because we'll have to. So we're going to work those pronouns with pedir and preguntar because it's almost impossible to practice those without using me, te, nos, le, and les. Impossible to use those ideas without them. Bien. Okay? Vale. Magnífico. Que tengan buena semana. May you have a good week. Que tengan buena semana. Bien. De nada. Es un placer.
Gracias,
Okay.
adiós.
Gracias.
Okay.
Gracias, yo también.
Hasta luego.